right, welcome back to Willard High School. We have a boys 14 and under Final Four game. My name is Paul Gilmore alongside Scott Staten as we are ready for tip-off between Bluegrass United out of Bowling Green, Kentucky, and CHSA Wolverines out of Houston, Texas.
Should be another great Final Four game. The one before this, we saw that it was tight throughout with OKC and the Moni Patriots, but late in the game, the Patriots just started to connect from outside and really ran away with it. They've shown great speed, but also shooting ability, and not surprised to see them advance to tomorrow's undisputed national championship for the boys 14U.
So the winner of this game, as we have Colin Hill on the PA announcing the starting lineups, the winner of this game will play the Moni Patriots tomorrow morning at Evangel in the boys 14 and under undisputed national championship game.
A little bit different than last year. We just had the last year, I believe, was the first year that they moved the boys 18U national championship undisputed to a Saturday morning, and they had a really good turnout. So this year they've still got that going on, but they've added another layer with the 14U, so that's going to give us a really great way to close out this tournament this week of action.
So the CHSA Wolverines are in their maroon uniforms with the gold trim, and the Bluegrass United are in their all-white uniforms with the black outline and trim.
Look for Bluegrass United here. This is a team that's got length. You look at it's a 14U team, a lot of 6-footers. Was able to do a game earlier this week also with CHSA, and they've got some speed. The Quinones brothers, coach's sons on the court, just great basketball awareness. They run that offense just the way that the coach wants them to, and although I'm sure he would say they don't always do that, but this is going to be a good matchup.
The ball is passed inside. It's going to be tipped off of CHSA, and it'll stay with United as they inbound underneath.
It'll be interesting to see how the Wolverines deal with the height on Bluegrass.
Ball pinballing around ultimately comes up in the hands of Ethan Quinones, but he's called for a travel.
Yeah, that time the Wolverines grabbed the rebound, but they started to take off a little too soon, and one of the Blue Hawk players got his hand in there and was able to tie up the ball just enough to have Quinones travel.
On the inbounds, three-point attempt is going to be up and no good. Rebound Quinones. And it's going to be Hank Jackson with the rock bringing it up.
Harrenreich had a great look at the basket there for Bluegrass United. Just couldn't get it to fall. And there's some of that length again that we said was going to be an issue, Paul. They were had an open look over on the far right wing, but when he went up for the shot, it was great recovery by the Blue Hawk player to get out there and get a hand in his face and knock that ball out of bounds.
Ball inbounded up to the half-court line. Still no score in this game. As they work the perimeter. In the corner, Jonathan Harris.
That 3-2 zone of the Blue Hawks, you knew that was going to be an issue for the Wolverines. Are going to have to figure this out. They've got a lot of length, and they're going to have to try to break in there. Don't look for them necessarily to work it inside, but they do have a player right at the free throw line. They can kick that in there, and then he can find somebody on the wing, and that's what they'll try to do, it looks like, as they're trying to figure out this zone defense here. Yeah,
the length is causing all kinds of problems so far for the Wolverines. Nothing going as we are a minute and 8 seconds into the game and still no score, 0-0.
Yeah, that time that turnover was really, I believe, caused by you try to rush sometimes when you're having a difficulty getting your offensive flow, and that time it looked like a rush play.
That ball is going to be up and good. 2 points for Andrew Jurek.
Well, he's such a big presence inside there. You don't see a lot of these in 14U games, but he's had a dunk already, so
wow.
we might be able to see some high-flying, delicious action here today.
Nice give and go for Quinones, and he's going to get 2 free throws.
Yeah, you like the way that they attacked there. The Wolverines, they came in and drove in the lane. Quinones is not bashful, is not shy to go inside. I saw earlier this week some games where he as a guard, he likes to drive inside the lane. You probably would have liked there. I mean, he was able to draw the foul, but if he had pump faked, a lot of times you can get the big guys in the air and then just go around and get the easy layup.
Yesterday, I was on the call for that game, and Quinones, again, very active with his hands and his body, but unfortunately fouled out. But good for the Wolverines. They had a juicy enough lead that it didn't matter.
Yes. As the kids say, they had it rolling.
And Hobbenrich, a nice Euro step on into the lane, and it's a quick 4-0 lead for the team in white.
A little bit of a pressure there on the full court, but they're able to get through it, and then there's a nice shot by Gabe Ramirez.
Yeah, nice look on the inside by Gabe Ramirez, came across his body to the right and hook shot it up and in.
Gotta believe Blue Hawks were just trying to mix things up because they had caused so much trouble already, but they decided to go to a press there, and Wolverines able to break it with their great guards.
Nearly almost stolen away again by Ethan Quinones. However, the Blue Hawks will be inbounding underneath their basket.
They're going to work the ball around and go inside out, and they do have some shooters.
Yeah, good wide open look, but no good. Offensive rebound.
Guy Dewerson had a good look, the coach's son, but he couldn't get it to drop. They do get the rebound, gather that in, and another shot opportunity.
The difference I'm noticing so far in the game is how far on the perimeter they're playing on defense. The Blue Hawks are playing much further extended out, using their length to disrupt.
Yep.
The Wolverines are sunk a little bit more into their 2-3.
Yeah, when you look at how the Blue Hawks, and they've got the press going again, let's see if they're going to stay in that. Last time the Wolverines were able to get through it fairly easily, but now that's that coffin corner. Get trapped over there and timeout. Boy, they were in trouble. That's not the area to pick up your dribble because that is an instant attack by a double team for the Blue Hawks. And a wise timeout by Coach Quinones.
And we've been talking about it this week when the players come across that half-court line and they're in the corner, it's like they've already automatically got 2 extra defenders behind them on each side.
Yeah, we teach. We don't press a lot with the programs that I'm with, but when we do, we tell them that when you get someone in the corner, especially if they pick up their dribble, it's like a 4-team. Because you've got 2 different lines there that they're up against. They have nowhere to go, and so yeah, the United players quickly. On top of that, as the Wolverine picked up his dribble and luckily was bailed out by the timeout. Blue Hawks have established that they've got the size and the length, but just a 2-point lead right now. See if the Wolverines can cut into that. They've been planning Hank Jackson up around the free throw line. They haven't been able to feed it into him yet, but look for them to try to make a little interior pass, and then he can turn and spin and either kick it out or try to drive on one of the big guys and draw a foul or hit the shot.
Pretty slow going so far, just a 4-2 game as we're under the 3-minute mark in the first quarter.
Quinones eyes the defense, or actually that's Ramirez eyes the defense. Trying to figure this out, and there once again the length, nice tip away, but it comes up in the hands of Quinones.
Three-pointer on the way. Nothing but net for Guy Dewerson.
Yeah, that was pretty. He had an earlier shot that was open like that and didn't get it to fall, but like most shooters, that doesn't dissuade him from shooting again.
And that's going to be Hank Jackson taking it all the way.
Able to use that left hand, and that time, I like I said, the Bluegrass United, the Blue Hawks were posing such a problem for the Wolverines just with their 3-2 that when they've gone into this press now, it's almost pushed into the hands of the Wolverines where they can press the tempo, and they're able to get that 3-point play.
7-5 now in favor of the Blue Hawks.
Nice feed inside.
Ends up in the hands of Jackson again. He's going to drive the lane, lays it up with the left hand, tough angle.
Yeah, 2 times that he's gone to the left hand and been able to get straight to the rack and put it in.
Well, and it has been the case most of our games this morning. We've got a tie game.
Keep them close. Might have forced it there, just a little bit too much. You can see the Blue Hawks game that's going to be definitely try to feed the ball down low inside the paint. They've got the bigs down there, but right there just a little bit, forced it a little too much. You'd like to see him pull out and wait until his offensive player was able to post up better.
That's going to be Gabe Ramirez for 3, short. Rebound ripped away. Blue Hawks on the run. Layup's going to be up and no good. But that's going to be J.B. Kaufman that was fouled.
First time we've seen Bluegrass be able to push the tempo a little bit, and that was a nice look as Kaufman recognized that he had numbers and took off to the other end and tried to do what Jackson has been doing on the opposite side.
That free throw is short for Kaufman.
Boxing out here will be a big deal for the Wolverines. They're undersized just a bit, and so position is huge.
Second is good for Kaufman to give the lead back to Bluegrass United. They lost the man underneath, and that's going to be Gabe Ramirez.
Great court vision there. Able to look up and see that his man was behind the entire defense. And once again, the Wolverines have shown they not having any trouble with that press.
Tipped and stolen. CHSA comes the other way. And that's going to be Ethan Quinones that was fouled before the pass-off.
Gabe Wilson with the steal at the other end, giving up some size there, but one thing that you can control is heart, and he definitely was able to just attack the bigger player there, tip the ball away, and then started the run for his team the other direction.
And that's the second foul for Dewerson, so he's actually going to have to sit with under a minute to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, that takes away one of their outside threats. Wolverines being patient, looking for an opening.
In the corner, Gabe Ramirez for three. No good that time. Offensive rebound, putback, no good. Another offensive rebound for Jackson. He kicks it out, and it looks like they'll reset. That ball is going to be tipped by Matty Oak into his own bench.
Yeah, that time, surprising. CHSA able to come away with an offensive board. There probably won't be a lot of those today with the size of the Blue Hawks, but able to get themselves another opportunity to score.
And now it looks like the Wolverines will hold for the final shot in the quarter, and they lead 9-8.
Look for the Wolverines. They've been setting up a shooter in either corner. They've got one right down there now with Jonathan Harris. See if they can try to get that to him these last few seconds.
Nothing going. That's going to be a backcourt violation with 0.1 seconds to go.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be able to run the clock out, and that's what he was going to do so that it wouldn't give Bluegrass an opportunity, but the player for the Blue Hawks came roaring down the court, and so he had to grab the ball and give them a little bit of time. Oh, wow.
Almost a direct free kick into the goal right. From the sideline. Wrong sport, however, so we'll head into the second quarter with the Wolverines leading 9-8 over the Blue Hawks. We'll take a quick break and be back right after this.
They will tell you, you're not tough enough.
Incredible, the fact, obviously, I mean, walking out of here.
You're not strong enough.
Says, let me have it. Whoa, no.
You can't get back up.
Yanni Rubens Barbosa.
You can't succeed. You can't win. You never ride the world's ranked sports. But I disagree. I'll tell you this. When you get back up, you will succeed. Yes, you can.
Sim. Você pode.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Welcome back to Willard High School, home of the Tigers. Paul Gilmore alongside Scott Staten and the boys 14 and under Final Four game between the CHSA Wolverines out of Houston and the Bluegrass United Blue Hawks out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Floater on the baseline, no good.
Good rebound. Box out again by Bluegrass United, setting up in the corner.
Nice fake. Three-pointer at the top is going to be short. Offensive rebound, Matty Oak, and we're going to have a jump ball.
And with the change of possession,
Jump ball possession stays.
it's going to stay down at this end. That voice sounds familiar down there, Paul.
You know who that is?
I'm going to guess it's Colin Hill. I would recognize that voice in most places.
Matty Oak, strong take, no good. Offensive rebound, second chance.
So active on the boards. Got to love his desire right there. One of their 4 6-footers on this team, and he's able to get in there and grab the extra possessions for his team and be able to try to get down to the free throw line and convert to points.
Yeah, Matty Oak's so strong as he misses the first end of the 2 free throws.
Yeah, I think you were saying before, like it's appropriate that the last part of his name is an Oak because he's pretty stout and firm, strong down there. Gives him a lot of power.
Three-pointer is no good. We're going to have a push-off on the rebound, I believe.
Yeah.
They're going to get Jonathan Harris with the foul.
Looked like the Blue Hawks were able to – they've been doing a great job of boxing out, not just relying on their height. And that time, Wolverines, you get frustrated sometimes on the other end when you can't get around the bigger players, and that time of pushing the back.
Nice feed on the inside to Matty Oak, no good. Offensive rebound nearly saved by Jurek, but instead he stepped on the line as he grabbed the ball.
Jurek has made his presence felt down there on both ends. He's a big guy, 6'2", 6'3", I believe, and as he's down there, not just relying again on his size, he's been able to create some extra opportunities on the offensive end, and then drew the foul we saw in the last possession against the Wolverines.
Three-pointer in the corner, no good. Offensive rebound and putback by Ethan Quinones.
Ethan Q, he's able to slide in, and he saw where the ball was coming. Sometimes you can do that. When your teammate shoots, you have a little bit of a better angle on where the miss is going to come off, and he was able to anticipate and get the rebound.
Hobbin Rich was fouled. It was on the pass off, so they'll take it underneath the basket.
14 fouls each.
That's the second time they've done that play for Jurek.
He can throw it down. He didn't do it that time, but able to float above everybody and just drop it in the hole.
When we just heard Colin Hill say Jurek, so I'm not sure which one it is, but if you're a Bluegrass United fan or Andrew's family, we do apologize.
They got some great names on this team. Bluegrass United, they came here, I believe, last year and competed. The only time really Bluegrass United has been a part of this national tournament was in 2010, and I think they were the Bluegrass Warriors last year, and Coach Dewerson was telling me that they combined with some of the other teams, homeschool teams in Lexington, so that they had enough to do middle school, the 14U age group, for the early this season, and it's given them an opportunity to come here in the Final Four. Great rebound.
Yeah, Matty Oak rips it down up ahead, and that's going to be 2 more points for J.P. Kaufman.
Kaufman released when he saw the strong rebound by his teammate and was able to get behind the Wolverine defense for that easy 2.
Now the Wolverines working the ball around the perimeter. Some dribble handoffs.
They're going to be patient, kind of do a little bit of the weave and work the ball around the perimeter, and there they are inside on the free throw line and able to challenge and draw the foul. Well, you like the way that Jackson, he's been set up on that free throw line, and that's the first time they've really been able to feed it inside, and he had the option of kicking it out for a shot, but instead challenged the defender and was able to draw the foul. Seems like him being left-handed is messing around a little with the defenders on Blue Knights. When he's taken a couple of shots, he's been able to go up and free himself by going to his left rather than to his right. And sometimes it's subconscious. In your mind, you're used to right-handers all the time. And so when you first start to face a really strong left-handed move, the advantage definitely goes to the offensive player in that situation.
Well, and Steve Largent said on the broadcast yesterday, as he is a lefty, he was saying he could never really square up to the basket to shoot free throws.
Yeah.
And so we saw Hank Jackson just tilted a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if that's a left-handed thing or a Steve Largent thing, but sometimes they're one and the same.
Yeah. Not being a left-hander, it's a different language to me. I always think their shot looks prettier than ours.
And that is going to drop and fall, a three-pointer for Kaufman. He's got 2 consecutive field goals, and now the Blue Hawks lead 15-12.
Like his game, he's been able to attack the rack but also shoot the jumper from outside, give his team a 3-point lead here. Blue Hawks have settled back into that 3-2.
Gabe Ramirez looking for a foul call on that. Meanwhile, the Bluegrass United bench was looking for it to be off Ramirez.
I think that was a good adjustment that they've gone away from the press. When Bluegrass United was pressing, it seemed like it was just creating more opportunities for the Wolverines, and so they've settled back into that 3-2. They just leave their 2 bigs down on the blocks, and then they let the 3 kind of cover the perimeter, and that's, with the length and the size, that's been posing the trouble for the Wolverines once again. Let's see if Jackson will try to attack again from the free throw line or if they'll continue to pass it outside.
Good feed inside from Jackson to Noah Quinones, no good. Offensive rebound, and that's going to be controlled by the Wolverines. 3-pointer in the corner from Quinones, and that's good.
to his brother. Noah that time spotted up. That left corner's been open most of the game, and they were able to sink another there.
(15-15), under 2 minutes to play in the first half. On the drive, lost the handle.
Nice challenge by Jackson.
Ends up in the hands of the Wolverines after it was taken away.
That time it switched roles. It was CHSA with the block.
Baseline floater is up and good.
Oh, what a touch.
Smooth looking floater from Hank Jackson.
That was nice. That'll keep your height from having an impact. You shoot those rainbow floaters like that.
On the drive and bumped. Fouled by Noah Quinones was Hobenrich.
Yeah, Noah was trying to get in there to tip the ball away, and their legs got tied up. And
Team foul number 5.
send them to the line. No, I guess not to the line yet. He wasn't on the shot.
It'll be Duerson and Andrew Myers checking in for Bluegrass United.
Duerson's got to watch that foul situation.
On the drive, Hobenrich up and good.
Yeah, like the pump fake. He drove, planted his feet inside the lane, got the defender up in the air, and waited till he came down to shoot over top.
Hank Jackson nearly lost the handle, but picked it up. And CHSA may work for the final shot here, or they may attack. Nice feed underneath from Jackson.
Boy, Jackson can make those interior passes. That was pretty.
Ethan Quinones, no good. Rebound pulled down by Duerson.
It's 30 seconds to go. Let's see how this quarter ends.
Hobenrich going for it again, and he hits it.
Same spot, a little bit of a different move, but same result. His team in the lead now.
Tremendous move from Hobenrich as he has 6 points in the first half.
Wolverines look like they'll go for one shot. Down by 2. Do they go for the lead or just the inside shot to tie it? Oh, and a nice block inside there.
Tough shot put up by Gabriel Wilson, and that's going to do it for the first half as the Blue Hawks lead 19-17 here in Willard High School. We'll take a quick halftime break and be back here on YouTube Feature Court 1 after this.
As a young girl playing tennis, I always dreamed of winning an Olympic gold medal for Puerto Rico. Entering the 2016 Rio Games, I was ranked 34th in the world. People said I had no chance to win the gold medal. The odds were against me. No woman representing Puerto Rico had ever won Olympic medals of any kind, and no woman or man had ever claimed gold for Puerto Rico. They said just to be an Olympian was good enough, that the competition was too good, that I should treat this as a building block for my career. They said go to Rio and just enjoy the experience. Well, I did. Yes, I can. And with real-time pain relief, so can you.
Welcome back once again to Willard High School for the second half action of this boys 14 and under between the CHSA Wolverines and Bluegrass United. Jumper no good from Quinones, and the ball will go back to the Blue Hawks.
Boy, it's physical down under the basket right now.
Shot is up and no good from Hobenrich. Excuse me, that was Kaufman. And he will go to the free throw line.
Kaufman has had a good first half and a really good game. He's shown us the shooting ability outside, but he's also, this isn't the first time he's driven down inside and been able to draw contact.
I also believe Bluegrass United has been missing quite a few free throws in this game. Hoffman connects on that one.
Lead up to 3. The winner will move on and face the HSRC Moni Patriots tomorrow morning over at Evangel University.
I don't think I ever figured out exactly what HSRC stands for.
I looked it up last night as the shot is made by Quinones. It has something to do with like homeschool resource something.
Okay.
I think it's Homeschool Resource Center. I think it's the, but yeah, I was the same way. There's so many initials in this tournament that the one that really always gets me is Rush. Are you serving him? I kept thinking it had something to do with the location.
Oh, I'd never thought about that. So, and the "are you serving him?" The R is the letter R.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess Aush wouldn't really work if you spelled it out that way.
Exactly. Well, that time the Blue Hawks went in for a shot before and were able to travel, and then the other way, the attack by the Wolverines.
Yeah, I feel like there should be a program that comes from the West over in the Pacific side.
Yes.
Perhaps the Pacific Homeschool Association of Teachers, which would be FAT. And I don't know what the mascot would be. Maybe a cucumber.
That would be that would probably get them on Sports Center, if they were
especially if they were winning games.
And they were the fat cucumbers. I'm not sure about that.
And that spin move is up and good for Jonathan Harris. Nice move from Jonathan.
Good time out there for the Blue Hawks. And so as we've been having our fun, the Wolverines have just gone on a run. I mean, they have attacked. They've been able to get some stops on Bluegrass United and just driven the lane, been very aggressive on the offensive end and been able to put it in off the backboard several times. And right now the Blue Knights have got to gather themselves, and you know they are big inside, but it seems like CHSA has kind of figured out that combination to that lockdown that they'd had in the first half.
Yeah, so we went into the first half with the Blue Hawks having the momentum, and so far to start the third quarter it's been all Wolverines. They currently lead 23-20.
Winner moves on to the undisputed 14U Boys Championship tomorrow. A lot on the line here. Bluegrass was knocked out in the Final Four last year, I believe, by Moni. They weren't the Blue Knights then, but...
So Matty Oak scores the layup, and then he's called for a delay of game as he may have just rolled the ball far out of bounds towards the wall.
Yeah, that's easy to do. They get excited, pumped up after the basket, and kind of knock the ball to the ground. And when it rolls, the officials don't want to go running after that, so they give him a warning.
And we're going to have a travel called against Jackson. Ball will go back to the Blue Hawks.
That seems to be the attack right now for CHSA. They're going to drive and try to get into one of the seams inside the zone defense.
Three-pointer is up and nothing but net for Kaufman.
That was a rainmaker. He's hit a couple of those this game, and he set up out on that left wing, and you could tell when it left his hands. That was good.
And the Blue Hawks have responded well now after the timeout. They've scored 5 on their own.
Look for them to ramp up their defense now. Still in that 3-2. Wings out there trying to force the action, rely on their bigs down low. There's the block. Nice job by Jurek.
On the drive, three-pointer, another one up and no good for Dewerson. And Harris is going to come down with the basketball, flips it up ahead. Great pass to Gabe Ramirez, no good. Nearly stolen by Quinones, but however they're going to say it's off the foot of Jurek.
Yeah, he wasn't quite squared up that time. when he drove the lane, there's been multiple times in this game where they've driven and about in that same spot, a little like 7-8 footer in front of the rim, and they've squared up. That time he went up with the one-hander and couldn't make it work.
Ooh, nice drive by Harris as he flipped it up. I thought it had a chance to roll in.
Yeah. Page out of his teammate Hank Jackson's book. Jackson, multiple times in the first half, was able to drive and either draw the foul or get the shot on a little left-handed layup. That time it was Harris showing he can make that same move.
Free throw is short for Harris. Well, and I mentioned the free throws earlier, and you play a tournament where you're playing a game each day. A lot of these players, you know, maybe play a weekend tournament, but they're not used to a full week of games.
Right.
Your legs start probably getting to you after a while.
Yep, a little bit of a noodle legs going on, and we'll see if fatigue becomes a factor for either team.
Down low to Matty Oak. Power dribble up in, no good, but he's fouled.
That's a strong move. He sealed his man, got behind him, and it was recognized by his guard out top. Was able to cough and flip it inside, and even though he didn't convert there, look for them to go back to that well, because that should be open for them.
Free throw is short for Matty Oak.
This Bluegrass United team, for that brief instance, were trailing, but then they seem to have gotten back into their game, and now just up by 2. Wolverines, a tough match for them. 2 opposite styles.
Jackson working the dribble, swings it into the near corner. Ramirez up top. Three-pointer is up and no good. Rebound ripped down by Jarak. And we're coming the other way. Matty Oak full speed ahead in the corner. Decides to drive it in and lays it up and in.
That was a great decision there by Kaufman. Kaufman could have taken that 3 and it wouldn't have been a bad shot, but because he saw the defender flying by, he knew he would be able to get around, and instead goes in and can get a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, plus add a foul to the opposition.
Yeah, he's got 12, looking for 13. And we're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. 2 minutes and 19 seconds left in the third quarter. Blue Hawks leading 28-24.
We thought it was going to be a lot more of a difference in styles with Bluegrass, you know, feeding their big men, and it started out that way, but really it's been the players like Kaufman and some of the wing players for Bluegrass United that have really given their team the lead at this point. Kaufman, almost half of his team's points, and he's played a solid game. Got the jump shot outside, and we just saw the drive inside. CHSA is a very guard-heavy team, and you can see with Jackson and Quinones and Ramirez, they've got a great outside game and an ability to penetrate, but so far they've stayed within punching distance. Let's see if they can continue to do that, and if this length is going to bother them at all the rest of the game.
Free throw no good, but offensive rebound to Matty Oak.
He's so good in the paint.
And they're going to have a wraparound foul by Gabe Ramirez. Checking in for the Wolverines is Joshua Atkinson.
That's one of the first times we've seen where they're willing to put one of their own bigs inside now and see if that can counteract the inside work and the offensive rebounding that the Blue Knights are having up to this point.
Ball inside to Jarak. The Wolverines were ready for it that time. Tipped away.
Great back tip by Jackson.
Now Jackson's going to drive, lay it up. No foul called, and it'll stay with the Wolverines.
Looked like Hobenrich was able to get in there and just get all ball. He was backing away from the defender. You'd liked, if you were a CHSA, for Jackson to take maybe one more dribble, get a little closer to the rim, and force the foul there.
Ball inside to Ramirez. Flips it up, no good.
Rushed his shot a little.
On the drive, no good, no foul, and it'll go back to the Wolverines.
Wow, Kaufman drove, looked like his head got knocked backwards, but there was no foul called, and so Wolverines come away with it.
In the corner, Quinones, that's good.
That was the difference between that shot and the last one for the Wolverines. The last one was rushed. This time, Quinones took a little extra second, spotted up, made sure his feet were squared, shoulders were facing the basket, and put it in.
Strong drive, as it looked like Hobenrich was hit in the face. Up ahead to Quinones, and they said he was out of bounds before he was able to pass it off.
Both of these teams have been in close games. Bluegrass United defeated the HFC Warriors by 11 yesterday in a game that was closer than that. And then the Rockford Fire went down to the CHS Wolverines, another game by 11, but one that was contested most of the game.
We're going to have a foul on Ramirez.
CHSA foul number 23, Gabriel Ramirez. His second.
Just got to watch it. It's only 2 for him, but 5 team fouls compared to 1 for the Blue Hawks. Wolverines got to watch that because you don't want to have the whole fourth quarter with Bluegrass on the free throw line. That was a dangerous pass. That could have gone out on the Blue Hawks, but instead it was off of Quinones as he tried to get the steal.
Inside to Matty Oak.
Yeah,
just uses the body to clear some space.
He's a man among boys down there. He's, you know, and it's not that he's the tallest player, although he's got some size, just strong. And you can tell when he goes up with a shot, you're not going to knock that ball out of his hands. You might be able to block him or force a miss, but he is really strong with the ball.
Short, gets his own rebound.
Oh,
wow.
Did we mention strong?
Yeah. Matty Oak puts the bucket in for an and one. The foul was on Gabriel Wilson. That's his third.
Little jump stop, the big guy. Always follow your own shot, and that's what he did and was able to now get another attempt at three-point play.
So Matty Oak misses the other end of that, but pretty soon they might have to change Matty Oak to Mighty Oak.
That's close enough, man. I like it.
A minute left to play in the third quarter. Blue Hawks now lead 31-27.
Wolverines need to answer here. They're only down 4, but they've really struggled being able to get any kind of flow. They've had spurts in this game where they can put points on the board, but unable to be real consistent with that.
Give and go. Shot no good, and it will go to the Blue Hawks with 38 seconds left.
Back into the game.
Matthew Bowler will check in.
For the Blue Hawks, number 22, Matthew Bowler. And for the Wolverines, number 23, Gabe Ramirez.
Let's see how they can end this quarter. If Bluegrass can come up with a shot, and I think that went off the leg. It was. Heads up play by Ramirez to knock it off of Matty Oak. And with 37 seconds left, they were down 4, looking at a 6-point or 7-point deficit. Instead, now they can cut that in half or even down to 1.
We're going to get a quick shoelace retie from Ethan Quinones. And a spot movement, but we're all set to start again. 37.3 seconds left.
Look for the guards to work the ball outside on the perimeter. Look for a seam either down low in the middle. They've got Jackson at the free throw line, or they like to set up in those opposite corners on the weak side.
On the drive, Quinones lays it off to Jackson, and one. That foul is going to be on Matty Oak.
Again, we see Quinones and Jackson showing their basketball IQ there. Quinones drove, looked like he might try to go in for the shot, but at the same time, in his mind, he knew he had Jackson right there in the paint. Little bounce pass, and Jackson able to convert. Done that several times today.
Free throw good from Jackson.
Free throws right now are a part of the difference.
Now the Wolverines applying some pressure. Matty Oak stolen by Quinones. He comes the other way, and the Wolverines have a chance to take the lead, but they throw it away.
Man, they had an opportunity really to flip the table. They were down 4, and Bluegrass had the ball. They were able to get the turnover, and then that time after the score, 3-point play, they had another steal, but threw it away.
On the drive, up ahead, and that's going to be a foul as Kaufman was fouled by Jackson.
Jackson.
Kaufman is
personal foul.
He's an attacker. He is not going to sit back. He's going to slash. He's going to drive. He has the ability to shoot the jump shot, and so if you're on defense, you've got to respect that. But when he sees an opportunity to be able to drive the lane, he's going to go there.
Free throw rolled around, and no good for Kaufman.
This could be an issue. The Blue Hawks right now really struggling at the free throw line.
Second free throw is good. 2 seconds left. We're going to get a long shot from Jackson. That's going to be up. And we had a foul called as Jackson took the long three-pointer, and he's going to get 3 free throws to end the quarter.
Yeah, it was right in front of the official. He had to call that.
13th foul.
Jackson was just going to launch one, and unfortunately for Bluegrass United, rather than just draw back and lightly challenge, they went for the block, and Jackson pulled them into the foul.
Well, and a lot of times when you're shooting free throws out there by yourself, it can seem a little bit harder than if you got players giving you a little peripheral.
Wow, now the Jackson struggles at the free throw line. He'd been on, but 0 for 2 on this.
And he missed all 3.
At the end of 3
Coach Dewerson for Bluegrass United says, good foul, guys, good foul.
32, the CHSA.
Well, as the youngins say, ball don't lie, right?
That's right.
Although I was trying to figure out the math with Steve yesterday. If you make 1 or 2 and miss the other one, is that a lie or half truth? I don't know.
Maybe ball fibs? I'm not sure.
So we head to the 4th quarter. The Blue Hawks leading 32-30. Back after this.
I used to think that living with aches and pains was just going to be part of my life. But now, I have a secret weapon, real-time pain relief cream. I just rub it in and the pain is gone. It smells great, doesn't burn my skin, but don't take my word for it. You can try it yourself for just $1. Order yours now at tvpainrelief.com. Again, that's tvpainrelief.com. Real-time pain relief. It will be $1 well spent.
Welcome back to Willard High School here in Willard, Missouri, as we are 6 minutes away from seeing who will move on to the boys 14 and under undisputed national championship. My name is Paul Gilmore alongside Scott Staten. Final 6 minutes of action, with the Blue Hawks leading 32-30.
That was a precipitous lead there as the Blue Hawks had a foul right at the end on a three-point attempt, ill-advised, but lucky for them, CHSA not able to convert on any of the 3 free throws.
And they have a 3 seconds in the lane on the Blue Hawks.
Paul, later in the game, it could become an issue. The foul count is 8 for the Wolverines and 3 for the Blue Hawks, but it hasn't really hurt the Wolverines much because the Blue Hawks have not been able to hit their free throws.
That ball was tipped and stolen away, and it's going to be Quinones, no good. A rebound attempt, good for Hank Jackson as he got popped in the nose.
How did he knock that in there? It was a great challenge by Guy Dewerson on the initial shot by Quinones to not foul but cause the miss. But Jackson, so wily inside that lane, was able to jump up there and tip it in despite the shot to the face.
And that time Jackson able to knock down the free throw. Missed 3 in a row to end the 3rd quarter. Otherwise, this would be a 4-point lead for the Wolverines.
Dangerous pass there.
Yeah, great presence of mind by Kaufman to throw it off Ramirez to save the possession.
Yeah, he was about to go out of bounds and get the turnover, but able to kick it back in off of the Wolverine defender.
On the drive is Hobbenrich. Lays it off, but stolen away by Harris.
Good recognition by Harris. He saw that he had a cutter behind him, and so he cut off that passing lane and came away with the ball for CHSA. Going to study that zone a little bit. They like to set Jackson up right at the free throw line, and then Quinones and Ramirez over on the wings, and then another foul at Bluegrass United, and that foul count is starting to add up.
Number 22, Matthew Bowler, his first, team foul number 5.
Yeah, towards the very end of the 3rd quarter, I looked up, and there was 1 foul on the Bluegrass United side. Now they've got 5.
That time Bluegrass United tried to sneak in Jirac, but unable to do so before the ball was inbounded.
Stolen away from Jackson. On the drive is Hobbenrich, lays it up and in.
Just threw it up off the back of the rim and able to get the spin in. Back into the lead for Bluegrass United.
3-point, nope. Faked, passed inside. And that's going to be a walk and a travel by Harris.
He was in an awkward position where he couldn't shoot because of the way that his feet were placed. And to be able to even get a shot up there, he had to shuffle his feet. And officials saw it. Another turnover for the Wolverines.
Press break for the Blue Hawks.
And there's a, wow, turnover, but right back into the hand. Lucky bounce there for Kaufman.
Layup no good, but they're going to call a foul on Quinones.
Yeah, when you're on the defensive side there and you see that looked like Kaufman had gone a little bit too far to his left, and it was going to be a difficult shot. Rather than bail them out with the foul there, just keep your hands straight up, stay in front of the offensive player, but Quinones unable to draw back in time and called for the foul.
Into the game for the Wolverines, number 2,
Whatever Coach Dewerson has told his team, it's worked on the free throws because they've started to connect now, and they're going to have to do that because the rest of the game they're going to be having 2 free throws on every foul by the Wolverines.
No good on the second, and we're going to have it over the back on Matty Oak.
Yeah, you like the aggressiveness there, but 9 times out of 10, when you swing your hand, that karate chop, you're going to get called for a foul even if you don't hit anyone, just because the optics of that, it just looks like a foul.
And the problem with that for Matty Oak is that's his 4th foul, so one more, he's out for the rest of the game.
Yep.
We've still got 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play.
Nice move by Ramirez. Couldn't get it to go, but you like the way they attack the bigs there. They have to be aware that there's so many fouls on Matty Oak.
And we're going to have a foul before the pass-off. That's going to be on Dewerson. That's his 4th as well.
17 foul.
It's very physical down there, and they've got to be aware that the officials are starting to call this tight. Can't just stick your hands out there. You need to be in good defensive position, guard with your feet, stay in front of your man. But it's so tempting when you see that ball to reach out and try to get it.
Front end, no good. Good job by Hobenrich
Yeah,
to tip it to himself, and we're going to have a foul the other way on Harris.
Yeah, he almost mistimed his jump there.
And that's going to be a double bonus. He's going to be shooting 2.
Yeah, they're in that the rest of this, the last 4:02. And this is where they've got to sink these. They've got to, as you mentioned, a lot of times on free throws, so much of it is your legs. And younger players a lot of times think they can just throw the ball in, but as you get tired, got to sometimes dig a little deeper. And that time, that's exactly what Hobenrich did, and a pretty free throw.
Second one on the way, and no good. But I think they're going to get Jirac on over the back.
Yeah. Great effort.
Oh, no. Whoa. They gave Hank Jackson the foul.
To the line for the Blue Hawks.
Must have called that he backed in and kind of undercut him, because it did initially look like Jirac had the position and the height to be able to just reach over, and then all of a sudden he was shoved backwards, and I think that's what the officials saw.
Well, Jirac is so much taller as well. A lot of the times those taller players, you're less inclined to get it over the back if you can just go up there like a giraffe and just bring it down.
Yep, and that's exactly how to pronounce his name, so you're that's perfect. Well, they've done a good job now of concentrating a little bit more. You have to convert free throws, and it really helps when you've got bigs. A lot of times your big guys, I mean, you've seen it through the years with DeAndre Jordan and Shaq and different ones. You can't really count on free throws with your bigs, but right there, Drag just showed a great touch, and that's got to be a good sign for Dewerson's team, because they're going to have opportunities, lots of opportunities. And on the other side of your CHSA, you're only down 5, but now it's starting to get into that danger territory with 4 minutes left, where each possession becomes a little more crucial. So protect the ball. You've been able to have Jackson attack inside. That height does not seem to bother him too much. He's been able to get some three-point plays, and you've always got Ramirez and Quinones on the wing that are able to hit those threes. So work it inside out, continue your game, and you can get right back in this thing. And these last 4 minutes, each possession is going to be super important for both teams.
Well, quick aside, I, believe it or not, played against DeAndre Jordan when we were both freshmen.
Oh, wow. What was that like?
It was crazy. He was so long and strong even at that age. It was a lot of fun.
Not many can say that. That's pretty impressive.
Three-pointer is up and good. Big-time shot for Jonathan Harris. They really needed that one.
Yeah.
Cut the lead to 2.
I didn't mention his name. I think he heard that and said, hey, what about me? And sinks that one to cut the lead to 2.
Now the Wolverines a lot more active on defense. Cross-court pass, inside jumper, no good. Rebound to the Wolverines if they can hold it. And Jirac comes up with it.
Wow, great
What
effort.
a scramble down there. No whistle in all of that as bodies were tumbling under the paint.
That was a pile of bodies. I mean, there were 4 guys that had landed on top of each other. Jirac couldn't move because it was a pile on, but somehow they are able to come away as the ball rolled out of bounds off the Wolverines.
And we're going to have an offensive foul on Jirac as he had a screen which created a wide open three-point play, but might have been because Jirac bumped him.
Yeah, Jirac was he was fired up after that play that they came away with the ball, and he was on the floor and getting landed on and stepped on, and I think maybe his emotion just got a little aggressive there. The official said that it was an illegal screen. Wolverines have to be patient here. They're only down 2, plenty of time. That 3 was huge, and so they have the opportunity to pick the shot that they want.
Baseline jumper, no good. Offensive rebound comes to Harris. He kicks it out to Quinones for 3. Bounces no good. Look at the other brother Quinones get in there.
Yep.
Jump ball.
And he skied up for that rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball that'll stay with the Wolverines.
Ethan Quinones right there, great awareness for his team. He had found that little seam, that little gap on the short baseline, missed the shot, but then was able to have a nose for the rebound and create another opportunity here.
Wow, what a shot by Ethan Quinones, kind of fading away from the basket.
Yeah.
Ties the ball game.
A one-footed fader. You don't see a lot of those, but enough to tie the game up, 38 all.
And the Blue Hawks are going to need some time to talk about that one. They're going to take a full timeout with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game. We'll take a break with them. Tie ball game, 38-38. Be back right after this on YouTube.
They will tell you, you're not tough enough.
Incredible, the fact, obviously, I mean, walking out of here.
You're not strong enough.
Says, let me have it. Whoa, no.
You can't get back up.
Yanni Rubens Barbosa.
You can't succeed. You can't win. You never ride the world's ranked sports. But I disagree. I'll tell you this, when you get back up, you will succeed. Yes, you can.
Sim, você pode.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And we have liftoff here in Willard High School as we have a tie ball game, 38-38 with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go. Long pass is going to be thrown away. I'm not sure what the play was there. Maybe he thought somebody was going to break long.
Well, you weren't the only one not sure what the play was there, because one of the Blue Knight players either was supposed to run or the inbounder thought he was supposed to run, and miscommunication right after a timeout. You hate to see that.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Durson can be anywhere near happy with that.
A lot on the line. The winner moves on to the 14U Undisputed Championship game tomorrow morning over at Evangel University, and they will play the Moni Patriots. 2 minutes to go. Nice bounce pass.
Wow, what a pass from Quinones to Harris.
That's a Magic Johnson pass right there, the interior bounce pass over half of the court. Here comes Bluegrass United, though.
Hobbenrich all the way, no good. Jirac almost able to put it back in. Matty Oak, no good. And we're going to have a foul to keep it here.
Boy, Matty Oak and Jirac were down there on both sides of the rim, and they just owned the paint there and were able to continue to just put up shot after shot, and finally the Wolverines had to foul.
Wolverine foul at number 3.
Well, and that's the fourth foul on Hank Jackson. And as we mentioned earlier, double bonus all the rest of the way.
Got that one in off the front of the rim, a little bit short. Look for him to bend a little deeper here on this one.
Second free throw is good.
All knotted up. He seems to have corrected his free throw woes.
If you are staying tuned for the next game, we have the boys 18 and under Final Four. Illinois Crew and Indianapolis Wildcats. Or excuse me, Memphis Nighthawks. My apologies.
Quinones with a strong move inside, able to go through the contact, and no foul there, but put it up with the right hand and dropped it through to give his team the lead. But then on the other way, there's a foul as Bluegrass United tried to push the pace just a bit with 1:21 to go.
So just to clarify, next game is Indianapolis Wildcats and Memphis Nighthawks. My apologies. As the first free throw is up and good for Hobenrich.
That will be the 18U Final Four. Wow, all 4 teams in that bracket. Talk about athletes, scores. Second shot, no good, but it comes off to the Blue Hawks.
And that's going to be a foul on Quinones.
Great follow. We've seen that a couple times today, Paul, where a player will miss his free throw, but he follows his shot. And Bluegrass United a couple of times has been able to do that and come up with an extra chance to hit the free throws that they had missed before.
Yeah, and they're doing a much better job of knocking down the free throws in this game as Hobenrich ties the game. And Bowler will come in as Durack takes a quick seat.
77 seconds from the undisputed national championship, trying to punch their ticket there to face off with the Mooney Patriots.
Second free throw rolls in for Hobenrich.
1 point lead now for Bluegrass United. CHSA has done a good job finding the seams inside this zone. Going to have to be patient, but only a minute left to go. Nice spin move.
Ramirez on the drive, flips it up, no good. Rebound, Matty Oak.
Strong board. We've seen that all day from Matty Oak. Bluegrass United now with 1 point lead and the ball.
Under a minute to go. At what point does CHSA decide to foul?
That's a good question. They may be willing to wait for their opportunity to trap for steal. Right there, almost had a double team.
Ball tipped out of bounds by Quinones. Good hands.
Yeah, you'd like to have seen a bounce pass there because as he was running, his defender was running with him and would have been able to reach down, but tipped away. And for Bluegrass United, luckily they were able to have it go off of the defender.
So 43-42, 37.2 seconds left. If you're Coach Quinones, what are you telling your guys versus if you're Coach Dewerson, what are you telling your guys?
I think if I'm Coach Quinones, what I'm looking at is the opportunity, and you go over your whole last 37 seconds, is if we get the ball, this is what you do. If they try to stall, this is when we foul. So he's going to tell them that, but I think right now you got enough time where you can look for a steal. They've been able a couple of times to trap the Blue Hawks in the corner. I think they're going to look for that, and if they can't make that happen maybe in the first 15, 20 seconds, then they're going to foul. And Bluegrass United has not been consistent at the free throw line, so you're willing to roll the dice on that. If you're Dewerson, what you do is you got to be strong with the ball, work the ball around the perimeter, but also be aware that you may be able to get an opening in the lane, and if you do, attack. But yeah, as much as possible, you want to milk that clock down. A lot of people don't know this. Dewerson's been a part of some really close games. He was actually the University of Kentucky mascot when they went to 3 straight Final Fours and won 2 titles. So he knows what it's like to be on the floor down by really close games.
Well, his player's up by 1 right now, and we're going to have the reach-in foul come at 30 seconds with Jonathan Harris picking up his 4th.
Looks like Coach Quinones was not content to be able to let them milk more clock, and so he must have told his players, try for the steal, but go ahead and don't be afraid to foul.
Yeah, and the foul works out okay so far as the first free throw is missed by Kaufman. They really need to box out the Wolverines, and they get the rebound, down 1.
That's what you need to happen if you're CHSA.
Hank Jackson thought about it. Instead, Quinones will take the 3, and it'll drop.
Off the front of the rim and into the goal, and suddenly they lead by 2 now.
Ethan Quinones with the big-time shot as the Blue Hawks drive the other way. Hobenrich will put it up. No good. Offensive rebound is going to be a foul on number 11, Gabriel Wilson. That's his 4th.
He was right there. Hobenrich he had a good look, but he wasn't able to convert. But right there on the other side, we've seen where Coach Dewerson has his Blue Knights just crash the boards, and with their height and their size, able to come away with that rebound.
Big-time free throws for Kaufman. First one is good.
That was perfect. Had the rotation and everything. Confidence. Needs this one, though.
I would imagine if there's any timeouts left, Coach Quinones will take one if this free throw is made, and it is.
We're all knotted up with 10 seconds to go. Doesn't get better than this in terms of a fan, whether you're for either team. We've got 10 seconds to decide who punches their ticket to play for the undisputed national championship tomorrow, Paul.
Wow. 10.1 seconds with with almost everything on the line. This isn't quite the undisputed, but in order to continue your journey, you've got to win this one.
Bluegrass United, as I mentioned earlier, they were a part of a team last year that came up here and in the Final Four were knocked out, I believe, by the Patriots. And so they're trying to go that one extra step. Maybe last year's experience will be able to pay off for them. And right now, when you look at the reset, Wolverines are not yet in the double bonus. So if they do get fouled, it's going to be a 1-and-1. And on the other side, Bluegrass United has been in the double bonus for a while, but it really hasn't paid off for them because they've been so inconsistent at the free throw line.
Well, I remember telling Steve Largent earlier in the week that I had never heard of Bluegrass United before.
Yep. Well, that's why.
And they came out of nowhere with a chance to go to the undisputed.
Yep. You can see why, too. A lot of talent and size. Last 6 seconds.
And we're going to have a foul called on number 21, Hobenrich. And that's going to send the Wolverines to the free throw line.
That's one of those situations where you're trying to be aggressive, but he just ran through the screen. And as a coach, what you tell your players, you got to talk to each other, and whatever teammate was closest to him should have been yelling out screen, 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 so that he saw what was coming up behind him.
Big time free throws for Jonathan Harris. It's a 1-and-1.
Ball will be live.
And it's no good off the front iron. 3 seconds left. Last second shot is up. Oh, nearly banked in. And we got some free basketball coming. Blue Hawks 45, Wolverines 45, heading to overtime. Back right after this.
I used to think that living with aches and pains was just going to be part of my life. But now, I have a secret weapon. Real-time pain relief cream. I just rub it in and the pain is gone. It smells great, doesn't burn my skin, but don't take my word for it. You can try it yourself for just $1. Order yours now at tvpainrelief.com. Again, that's tvpainrelief.com. Real-time pain relief. It will be $1 well spent.
Welcome back to Willard High School. An additional 3 minutes of play between these two teams.
Overtime to go to the national championship game tomorrow.
Yeah, 24 minutes wasn't enough, so we'll gain 3 more.
It's appropriate. These teams have been well matched throughout the day.
Three-pointer is up and in and out. No good for Dewerson.
Looked good.
Wolverines come down with the rebound. They quickly come the other way.
Talked about fatigue. We're in this extra period here. These guys are 14 years old, so they're resilient. Those legs can rebound pretty quickly, but you got to wonder, too, if that starts to be part of what we're seeing with the free throws. Both teams struggling to be able to hit those crucial free throws in that last quarter. We talked in the fourth quarter about every possession being critical. None so much as in this overtime, and only 3 minutes, and already almost a minute is gone. And CHSA tend to be very patient and find what they want.
On the drive, up and no good for Harris. And it'll go back to the Blue Hawks.
That time Harris drove the lane. I thought he was going to kick it over. He had Quinones over on the right side for a little 6-foot jumper, but instead he tried to force the shot up himself and was unable to hit and went out off of his own teammate.
Now coming the other way is Hobenrich.
Less than 2 minutes now.
Left side drive in the corner. Kaufman, no.
Good looking shot. There's Jurek, able to tip it with his height, get it away from the Wolverine defender who had position on him, get it back out for another possession with 1.5 minutes to go.
Good pass from Matty Oak. Good patience from the Blue Hawks.
Both teams not settling for bad shots.
Inside to Matty Oak. powers it in, lays it up and in.
Yeah, that had to be what Coach Dewerson told him, because you could see Guy Dewerson had a shot there, but instead fed it down low and just relied on the strength of his teammate to be able to put that in off the backboard.
And that's the third or fourth time Matty Oak's done that exact same move this game.
Yeah, it's hard to stop. He's so strong. Less than a minute to go.
Oh, good look inside for Ramirez, who was fouled.
Yeah, that was, again, we've seen that unselfish play. Jackson will get that ball on the free throw line, and that's a great way to beat a zone where you got some height. Is set one of your players on the free throw line. He can turn, either drive to hit the jumper or make an interior pass, and that's what he did there as Ramirez recognized and cut inside the lane of his defender and was able to draw the foul.
And unfortunately, that was the 5th team foul from Guy Dewerson, so he's out for the final 55 seconds of overtime.
That takes away one of the Blue Knights' outside shooting threats.
Shot no good from Ramirez.
Wow, those free throws are going to haunt them if they don't win this game. But really, both teams. They both had opportunities to put so many more points on the board.
Second one is good.
Got a 1-point game with 55 to go. Dangerous pass. Somehow, Hopperidge came up with that.
Stolen away by Quinones. He's driving all the way, and we're going to have a foul on the floor by number 22, Bowler. So they're going to go back to the line.
Even though that turnover happened more at the midcourt line, Paul, that was caused by the interior when the entry pass, because it was so dangerous. They started to scramble, and they were just never could kind of get control of the ball. First shot is good to tie it up.
This one for the lead with 47 seconds left. Nothing but net.
Money on those. Now CHSA in the lead by 1. That press starting to cause a little trouble here for Bluegrass United, but they get it over the timeline. Underneath
to Jurek, who lays it off to Matty Oak, who puts it up and is fouled.
Boy, I like the way that the two bigs for Bluegrass United, Jurek and Matty Oak, when sometimes they'll get a great feed inside, but rather than just turn and force up a shot, they immediately look to the other teammate and make the pass inside. And it seems like Bluegrass United really knows that Matty Oak is strong inside, and they're going to try to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah, great awareness from Jurek before he even landed to hand that off to Matty Oak. No good. Offensive rebound is going to be controlled by Matty Oak, who's going to put it up, and no good.
Little too strong that time.
It bounced off the head of Gabriel Wilson, and it'll stay with Bluegrass United.
Will Hopperidge caused that. On the missed free throw, he came and was able to tip the ball out. Somehow got the ball to Matty Oak. Matty Oak's shot was too strong off the board, but then it came off, and you could see the Wolverine player couldn't see where the ball went, and it was behind him. And boy, heads up play there as Matty Oak tips it, throws it off of his back and goes out of bounds and retains possession for his team with the game tied and just 1/10 of a second under 30 to go in this overtime period.
Both teams have at least 10 team fouls, and so either foul will result in a double bonus as we come to the final 30 seconds of play.
Yeah, and free throws for both teams have just been a gamble. You don't know what you're going to get. They hit spurts where they'll hit 2 or 3 in a row, and then they'll miss 2 or 3 in a row. And for the most part, both teams they've got to be right around 50% or less on their free throws because of just the whole game. Just not able to convert. This could be a 60, 70-point game for both teams if they could convert their free throws. So if you're on either side, you can't be afraid to foul because nothing's for sure with these two teams and the way they're playing. Look for the Blue Hawks to try to look for a final shot here and go for the win. That's what I think they're going to try to do.
Into Matty Oak, and no one touched it, so it'll go back to the Wolverines. I think they were looking for that lob pass they've been getting into Jurek, but that time the Wolverines defended it well.
The bounce pass was supposed to lead Matty Oak. That looked like the second option, like you said, and he just led him too much, and it went straight out of bounds. Now it's CHSA with their own destiny in their hands with 20 seconds to go and tied up.
And Coach Quinones wants to take some time to talk about it.
Oh, man.
18.8 seconds to go.
What a great lead-in to tomorrow's action and also to the upcoming 18U boys games, the Final Four there. We expect to see a lot of close games this whole afternoon. As you get deeper into the tournament, it's kind of like the cream rises to the top, and you start to see some really even matchups. And like these two teams, either team could represent this side of the bracket well, because they're totally different styles, but both really good squads. And I have to think that the free throw shooting has a little bit to do with one thing, age, but especially fatigue. They're young. They've played at least 5 games each, and so as they're going to the free throw line, plus nerves, they know what's on the line. This is a chance to go to an undisputed national championship game, and so both teams in the double bonus. 18.8 seconds to go. Let's see what Coach Quinones is going to look for here. I would expect them to pass the ball around the perimeter, get it in the hands of either Jackson or Quinones or Ramirez, and let them decide if they have a good shot or not and try to win the game.
10 seconds to play. 48-48. Looks like the Wolverines will look for the final shot. Tipped away.
Took a little too much time.
That ball ends up in the hands of Kaufman. That's going to be no good, and we're going to have a double overtime. 48-48. We'll take a quick break and be back right after this.
They will tell you, you're not tough enough.
Incredible, the fact, obviously, I mean, walking out of here.
You're not strong enough.
Says, let me have it. Whoa!
You can't get back up.
Yanni Rubens Barbosa.
You can't succeed. You can't win.
You never ride the world's ranked sports.
But I disagree.
I'll tell you this.
When you get back up,
You will succeed.
yes, you can.
Sim. Você pode.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Welcome back to Willard High School, home of the Tigers. Another 3 minutes to determine. Well, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, this could just keep going. Paul, the double overtime in the 14U Final Four game to go to the undisputed between Bluegrass United and CHSA. Tournament director Rob Flatt over there checking things out. You know he's got to be looking at the schedule going, we will never keep up with that today.
Nice spin by Harris, no good.
48 all. Again, we talk about fatigue. What do these guys have left in the tank? Dewerson has already fouled out for Bluegrass United. You got some foul trouble with some other players, Matty Oak, CHSA as well. Some players are 3 and 4 fouls, and could be a battle of attrition if we continue to have these overtimes.
On the drive, Hobbenrich across the court, a three-point pump fake, no good.
Good idea. Good decision not to shoot that. Like how the coaches, maybe fatigue playing a part of this, deciding to kind of stall, take their time to find the shot they want. Oh, but that's not what you want. Sometimes you get tired and you hang out in the lane a little too long.
So we'll see what the Wolverines can do. Still tied at 48 as we have another 2 minutes to play.
We've seen both teams do this, Paul. They let their guards hang out top, kind of survey the defense, see if they can recognize an area on the floor where they can get to get an open shot, but content with letting the clock run down, and game is tied. Don't have to have a lot of points, just got to have one more than the other team. So
Jackson feeds underneath to Quinones. Awkward layup, but it went in.
Stutter step. I think he couldn't decide if he was going to take one more dribble or shoot, and he got stuck in air, but luckily able to flip that in there for the bucket.
Minute and a half to play, 50-48.
Bluegrass United will take their time. There's a good three.
No good. Rebound, Ethan Quinones.
Wow, he got in there with the trees and was able to pull that down. I don't know how he did that, Paul.
And now they can pull it out, take some more time off. Hank Jackson, we're going to have a timeout called by Coach Quinones. 60-second timeout. We'll take a quick break with them. A minute and 10 seconds to go. Be back right after this.
This stuff ain't your grandma's pain relief. It doesn't stink, it's not greasy, and it works fast. Real-time pain relief max. Keep cowboying.
Welcome back. And welcome back to Willard High School. If you're looking for the boys 18U Final Four, you're watching the second overtime of the 14U Final Four between CHSA and the Bluegrass United Bluehawks. And right now, the Wolverines have just grabbed a 2-point lead down at the other end. The Bluehawks tried to take the lead with a Kaufman three-pointer, couldn't get it to go. And now it's the Wolverines in control. Here comes Quinones down the lane. Little too strong off the board. Ball back in the hands, but thrown away, and another turnover, costly turnover. Bluegrass United trying to rush just a little too much. Tried to throw the ball out ahead and start the break, and instead threw it out of bounds, and it'll go right back in the hands of CHSA. With the ball and a 2-point lead. Here comes Quinones, about to lose it. Comes up with it again, but then there's a steal. Bluegrass United gathers it in. Here comes Kaufman. Make that Hobenrich. Hobenrich inside. Feed inside the lane, and a nice layup by Hobenrich to tie it up with 40 seconds to go. Second overtime. Quinones goes in, little out of control, but able to draw the foul on Hobenrich. He will go to the free throw line for 2. 36 seconds to go. We are all knotted up in double overtime. The winner will move on to the undisputed national championship boys 14U game tomorrow morning at Evangel University, where they will face the Moni Patriots. First shot up by Quinones, too strong off the back of the rim. He'll get one more with a chance to give his team the lead, and 36.6 seconds to go here in double overtime. Quinones eyes the bucket, spins the ball. That one right on the money. 51-50. CHSA in the maroon uniforms, they have the 1-point lead. Bluegrass United out of Lexington, Kentucky in the white. They bring the ball up. It's Hobenrich over the timeline. He flips it inside. That was Matty Oak, kicks it back out. Another feed inside to Matty Oak. He's double teamed. They flip it out, 22 seconds to go. Hobenrich tries to throw it inside. Ball is tipped away, and Quinones comes away with it. He was tied up, but a foul is called. Great defense there by the CHSA Wolverines out of Texas.
Blue on foul on number 3, Reese Matty Oak.
And that's going to put Quinones on the line, and also, maybe more importantly, foul out Matty Oak for Bluegrass United. Quinones hit 1 out of 2 his last trip to the free throw line to give his team a 1-point lead. Bluegrass United will have to watch the next 2 to see if they're going to have to try to tie the game with 1 or 3 or 2 points. First shot up and good.
This free throw is a big one for Quinones. And I think Coach Dewerson is going to call timeout. Not sure if it's to ice him or just talk about what happens on a made or a missed free throw.
Yeah, could have double intentions there. One is you got to talk to your team at 17.5. You're either going to be down 2 or 3, depending on what happens on Quinones' next free throw. And if it's 2, you decide you're going to go for the tie and push it into a third overtime. He knows his team now. They just had Matty Oak foul out. So maybe 3 points is going to be what they're going to go for regardless to try to end this game or tie it.
And I thought on that possession before that one, there was an open player on the far wing that was not kicked out to and resulted in a turnover,
right,
which is a big swing in the game.
Absolutely. And you could tell they were trying to run the offense through Matty Oak, and a couple times he got his hand on the ball, but the Wolverines were double teaming him and able to get a hand on one of those balls and knock it loose, and it was Quinones. He's been clutch all afternoon for his CHSA Wolverine team. Coach's son showing a lot of basketball smarts there and being in the right place at the right time. And now he's on the free throw line for another attempt, try to give his team a 3-point lead with 17 and a half to go in the double overtime period.
I love how on the score clock it says period 6.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's double overtime.
That's right. This one's important. Let's see what happens.
And it's good.
Spot on that.
Oh, and they didn't see who to pass the ball into. Turnover. Clock is running, and Hank Jackson's going to be fouled.
That was a situation where, again, a miscommunication. We saw that a little bit earlier. On the inbounds, the Bluegrass United players were still setting up how they were going to beat the press, and the inbounder threw the ball before his player that he was throwing it to had turned around, and so it just went straight into the hand of Quinones at half court, and then he flips it ahead to Jackson.
And that's a missed free throw. The next one potentially could seal the game if he makes it.
Yep, this is a huge free throw. You hate to say huge too many times, but this one's huge because it will make it where Bluegrass will have to score twice.
And it just rolls off. Rebound secured by Hobbenrich.
Here they come. They can tie it up in a timeout. Wow.
Well, and I was going to ask, right before that timeout was called, if you're the Wolverines, do you just go ahead and foul so that you take away the opportunity for a three-pointer?
And that's probably something they're going to discuss. There's so many different views on that, Paul. I know coaches that say, no way, you know, let your defense do what they're supposed to do. Don't allow them to win by a mistake or something like that. But you're right. It's definitely an option for CHSA, because if you foul, then there is no three-point opportunity, and Bluegrass United would have the only option of hitting a free throw and then trying to miss a second on purpose and come down with the rebound. If you're Bluegrass United, you got to be aware of that's a possibility, that they could try to foul you, and so you have your players on the perimeter ready to launch a shot as soon as there's contact and hopefully try to get the continuation, so to speak, where you can get 3 free throws out of it. But I look for them to have one of their outside shooters. We've seen all day that Kaufman can shoot from outside. They've lost Dewerson to fouls. But if they can try to get that in their hands and put up a shot from outside to tie this game up and send it to triple overtime.
What craziness would that be?
Well, we can truly say it wouldn't be the first time today. Overtime seemed to be the story for this game.
Ball is inbounded in the corner. Three-pointer is up. Air ball. And that might do it, as Quinones throws the shot up and banks it in at the buzzer. I think that shot's going to count, but either way, the CHSA Wolverines are headed to the 14 and under undisputed national championship game.
Can you imagine if it had been tied on the other end and that's how they won?
Wow.
That shot looked good for Kaufman. He was online. He had great rotation, just a little bit short on the release, and could not tie the game for his team. Fantastic game, though.
What an incredible game that was. Coming up next, we have the Indianapolis Wildcats versus the Memphis Nighthawks. That's going to be Steve Largent and Scott Layton on the call. For Paul Gilmore, we want to thank you guys for tuning into that game, and we'll take a quick break and come back for the boys 18 and under Final Four game coming up next from Willard.